I'm Kent Hatcher.
I'm Angela Hatcher. We have two daughters who graduated from Heritage. Our older daughter started when she was 7th grade and graduated in 2019. Our younger daughter started here when she was in 4th grade in the elementary, and she graduated in 2022.
Both of our girls are STEM majors. Allison is a chemistry major at Cedarville. She's a freshman. And both of them would tell you that the experience here in their science classes, especially with the lab work that was done here in high school, I know that they've had an advantage in their science classes at their respective schools because of the amount of lab time they had here at Heritage. The AP classes here were amazing. Allie started with close to 30 credit hours at Cedarville. Becca started with about 20 at Taylor. Their success in their AP classes allowed them to test out of classes, so it was a huge advantage. It was very important to several of their teachers that that they would do well on the AP exams, not just pass them, but really succeed. And it's benefited both of our kids quite a bit.
A time when our younger daughter, Allie, she just started fall of her freshman year in college. She went to writing class, composition, came back, and she's calling me on the walk back, and she's talking about their syllabus and their expectations, and she was like, my classmates are kind of freaking out about this, and she was like, I didn't want to tell them, but we would do these sort of things like 3 a week in high school. So she was like, I'm good with it. I feel, she felt very prepared, and it wasn't a stress for her. So that we're very thankful for the preparation that she received, and to the point that she said, I need to email Mrs. Davis and tell her thank you because it was tough at the time, but now it's paying off. So that's what we love to see.
Yeah, she specifically told me too that in her calculus class that she's knows on all the topics. It's going a little deeper than maybe it went in high school, but not much. There's nothing that surprised her, and I think they would tell you that their high school writing courses were harder than their college writing courses have been.
Definitely would. Yeah, both of our daughters, interested at 2 different colleges, have found that the writing preparation that they received here at Heritage has just gone above and beyond anything that their professors expect of them at the college level. So as parents, that is really encouraging to us that investment, not only the financial investment in tuition, but the time, the focus, the energy, the expectations that are held here, it all does really come to fruition, and you see that. So that's exciting. So one of my favorite memories is our older daughter coming to me after school one day with her iPad and saying, let me show you what we did in lab today. She was so excited to show me the cat that they were dissecting and walk me through all of her lab report and all of the bits and pieces of what she was learning. And I was thrilled that she's learning it, just not so thrilled to see the photos. So, yeah. So they've received college credit from writing through, like you mentioned, their STEM classes. I think it's also helped them, put them at ease a little bit because they have a very firm foundation academically.
I feel they're well prepared. We were real impressed with Heritage when you never know for sure, so you kind of wait around, and those AP classes really were a true bellwether for us that allowed us to kind of take some solace that the quality education that we believed they were getting, that they were actually getting. Study tables or the office hours, I think she learned that here as well, that at Heritage that the teachers and the staff are here to educate kids, and they have the confidence to go ask when they need help. And both our girls, I think they developed that here, that they were able to not be afraid to ask for assistance when they need it, because I think everybody at Heritage was so helpful.
You know, the teachers here are so approachable and willing to help, to the point that I remember a friend reached out to us whose son went to a different school, and she said there's something he's really struggling with, any advice anywhere that we can look. And I reached out to the chair of the math department here at Heritage and said, hey, do you have any recommendations? What could they do? And she said, just give them my contact information. And she just got in touch with them after school that day and walked him through it. That's the heart of teachers here. They care about their students. They care about students learning and being prepared. Our older daughter, Becca, she had a really heavy load her senior year, to the point that as a mom, as an educator, I said, I think you need to drop a class and take a study hall. And when I talked with her about it, her response was, but that is my class with Mr. Ambrose. And sitting with him is like sitting down with our pastor and being able, she was like, my heart needs that class. I need that refreshment each day. So, I think those are the experiences that they draw from in these different situations. So as much as we appreciate the way they were prepared academically, we also know that so many different teachers impacted them, just helped them grow spiritually, helped them trust. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Teachers,
Yeah.
coaches,
Yeah.
administrators, custodians.
Yep.
There were so many people that impacted our girls in a positive way.
Absolutely. Yeah. We have so many people that we love to see when we come back to campus.
Every single coach they had, it was palpable. There was faith was part of it. Faith was instilled in the academic teams, praying for each other, praying with other teams. That was huge. That was something I was a public school kid and never seen that before, and that was moving to me. That there are I can think of several tennis coaches, cross country coaches, Mr. G, the band. Such a underlying faith aspect to all of that, and that was important to us, and that was neat to see from my perspective. We take responsibility for our children's upbringing, but Heritage was a great partner. Our church is a great partner. Heritage was a great partner for us. Consistent, I know the term worldview gets used a lot these days, but it's really true. Our girls got a solid foundational worldview that agrees with our faith and our beliefs, and it helped us. We still took it as our responsibility, but it definitely was a beneficial partner in establishing
develop,
worldview.
biblical worldview. Encourage them to seek to do their best for God's glory.
That's where the biggest bang for the buck came to us, because it's not public education, it's not free. So, but we felt like every nickel we invested in Heritage was well worth it, more than well worth it.
We always taught our girls to look out for the people who may be alone or maybe new. So it was great to see those people who did that for them when they started here. We can think of our older daughter, Becca, she tells the story of, a friend who said, hey, you're new, come sit with me. And here they are, they're graduating college and they're still tight. They still are close. And, just a sweet group, really tight friendships that, they still stay in touch. They still visit each other, even though they're at different colleges. developing that, praying for each other, encouraging each other through difficult, situations, just life happening. And, even though, Allie was younger when she started here, she was in elementary, seeing the same sort of thing, following Jesus' example in that, treating others the way that you want to be treated. So that's encouraging to us still, to this day. I stay in touch with their friends, not just them staying in touch with our friends. We stay in touch with other families, and that's exciting for us. So,
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite moment's really watching her with her friends, with the group of them after a band concert, or after a tennis match, or after a whatever you fill in the blank, after a cross country meet. They're just so awesome to see genuine joy, I guess is the best way to say it. We first looked at a couple co-ops. We looked at a couple other private schools. We looked at lots of options. We talked about public school. So we took almost a whole year. We felt like this was the best place for her. She felt comfortable here. She enjoyed the visits. She shadowed some students, which was really helpful. Some of those students really took her under her wing and gave her confidence to want to come here. Then when we made that decision, we decided that both of our children would come here.
I was very focused on the academics, and the academics had to be solid. I had very high expectations. Talking with other teachers, did we have, were we like-minded academically, but then also, what is the biblical foundation? Is it more than just name only? That was very important to us, and that was something we felt Heritage offered more than just a Bible class, but it was weaved throughout the entire day. What does God's Word teach us? How do we live it out? And that's what our girls experienced, whether it was discussing current events and how do we as Christians, respond to these current events. They had those conversations in their classes. They would follow up and go deeper after, a chapel. They would really dig in with their teachers, which encouraged them to continue those conversations at home with us. So that was important to me. Coming to Heritage allowed them the opportunity to choose. If they want to be part of fine arts, they can be part of fine arts. If they want to be on mock trial or athletics, they have all of these opportunities available. So our girls tried just about a little bit of everything. So that was just really encouraged them, gave them more confidence in whatever it was that they chose to really hone in on